Hello everybody, and welcome to this live training video. This is number 5 in the series, and it's called Should I Stay or Should I Go? And that was my little bit of fun title, and it's really for women that are struggling with their relationship at the moment, whether you're in one or you'd like to be in one. So lots of ideas in this video about how to make sure you really set yourself up for success. So I'm just going to go in and share the screen like I have done on previous videos. Here we go. So you can see me in the top corner here, and you can see the slides. So should I stay or should I go? Again, just a quick reminder about who I am. My name's Lindsay Agnes. I'm a master trainer of something called neuro-linguistic programming, often described as an instruction manual for the brain. I talked a lot about NLP in video number 2, the definition, how it can help you in your life. So if you'd like to find out more about NLP, have another listen to video number 2. I'm also one of the few female master trainers in the whole world, something I'm very proud of. I spent 11 years working as a change management consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I have very much a business background, and I've now spent 12 years running my own business, which is focused on both professional and personal change. I run a business called The Change Corporation, and Age with Attitude is a brand that I am developing currently within that business. I'm a writer of 4 books on change, including Change Your Life with NLP, which remains a bestseller and has been published in many different languages. So again, you know, something else that I particularly am proud of. And something about me and my philosophy, you know, I believe that everybody has the power to change and become the person they want to be. And I talk about the 3 Ps: purpose, passion, and potential. So I believe everybody has the power to become the person they want to be and live their lives with purpose and passion to reach their true potential. And this series of training videos is really my contribution, you know, to really help you think about what you might want to change in your life, and to give you some ideas about getting started, so actually change doesn't seem quite so scary. So this seminar in particular is for women wondering about whether to leave their partner during midlife. I mean, sometimes when you get to this point in life, particularly, you know, when the children have left home, maybe they've gone off to university. We often talk about you know, empty nest syndrome, but when the children have gone, and for those of you that maybe have not worked on your relationship that much over the years, you can often turn around and think, you know, who is this guy or who is this woman, you know, that I've been with for a long time? Do I really want to spend the rest of my life with them at a moment that I'm beginning to feel quite liberated? So one of the things, and this is coming through in the statistics, so the Office of National Statistics revealed recently that women aged 55 and over are the only group to have seen a rise in the divorce rate over the past decade. Most groups are seeing a dip in the divorce rate, and rates for women aged 55 to 59 in particular increased by 1.9%. So quite a small amount, but we are seeing, you know, this shift with older women, you know, actually leaving their partners and going off and doing something new. Now I talk about, and I absolutely use NLP for this, talk about unhappy relationships come about because of 3 things: negative anchors, unfulfilled strategies, and misaligned values. And we're going to have a look at each of these and really explore what you can do to transform your relationship or start afresh. And the one question I always say to people when they come in to see me to talk about their relationship is, you know, is this relationship worth saving? Because I think that's a really, really important question to answer. Because if it is, then absolutely go for it. You know, give it 100%. There's no point, you know, just going at it half-hearted. You know, you've really got to put that investment of time and energy in. And if it's really, really not going anywhere, then again, maybe it's, you know, it's easier to cut your losses and move on now and put the investment into your future. But these, you know, these strategies will help determine what your next step will be. So in NLP, we talk about negative anchors. And an anchor is when a significant emotional experience is linked to an external trigger. So just to give you an example, you know, sometimes you hear a piece of music and you're whisked back, you know, to an event back in your life, or sometimes you might have a particular smell and you start thinking of somebody, or you might taste some food and be whisked back to an important moment in your life. And this is what happens, you know, the brain at the moment that we're really in a, you know, intense emotional experience, we will search and look at what it might need to connect to that experience. So we are triggered by things unconsciously every day of our lives. This is an example of a bad trigger, a negative trigger. So for example, if you've had a bad day at work and you arrive home and your partner gives you a hug, you start to link that bad feeling to the hug. And over time, if you can imagine, this is happening 20 times, 30 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, you know, that bad feeling starts to increase. So negative anchors become quite serious in relationships. And, you know, over time, the example that I've just given you becomes a negative anchor. And at some point, your partner only needs to give you a hug for you to feel bad. I used to have this. In my relationship with my ex-husband. I'm remarried now, but he used to, when I used to be away a lot, and when I would get home, the house would be in a frightful mess, even to the extent that some days I'd have to push the front door to get in the house because there'd be so much stuff in the hall, because he will have been at home with the kids for a few days, creating chaos. And I began to notice that rather than really feeling excited about getting home and arriving home, that when I put the key in the lock, I started to feel bad. You know, that was absolutely an example of a negative anchor. So ask yourself, you know, what negative anchors have you set up in your relationship? You know, if you were to come on an NLP course, we would absolutely show you how to collapse them. You can, though, start to collapse them, by making yourself aware of what they are, and also by reminding yourself of why you fell in love with that person in the beginning. It's a bit like a pair of weighing scales. You know, if the anchors are getting heavy and you know, they're outweighing the positive stuff that's going on, you know, really remind yourself why you're with this person. And as you look at your partner, you know, really get back the feelings of being in love again, and slowly start to retrain your brain. So awareness, and reminding yourself of all the positive reasons to be in this relationship will help, you know, start to collapse these negative anchors. We also talk about unfulfilled strategies in a relationship, and these are very much unconscious strategies. When we first meet somebody, most of us are normally much more flexible than usual. You know what it's like when you meet someone, you might do stuff that you don't really want to do because you know it's important to them. However, once you get into a long-term relationship, this can start to change. And it's important to know what your partner's deep love strategy is. And ask yourself this question, first of all. You know, to know that somebody deeply loves you, is it absolutely necessary for you to be bought things, taken places, and looked at in a particular way, to hear a particular tone of voice or certain words, or to be touched in a particular way or place? Now, you can have all of these of them. It's likely to be more important to you, and it's really important to know which one of those that is. The first one is very much a visual strategy, second one is an auditory strategy, and the third one is a kinesthetic or a feelings type strategy. I discovered that I'm a very visual person. I have a visual strategy, and actually, you know, for me to feel like I'm deeply loved, I do need to be bought things, taken places, and in particular looked at in a special way. And I'll tell you a funny story about that, because often what we do is, because we unconsciously, we know what's important to us, we then do these things for our partner, but that's not necessarily their strategy. And I remember once, you know, well, in fact, 2 times, taking my ex-husband now. Once I bought him a day at Brands Hatch to go round and round, you know, in a fast car, because I would like to do that. He absolutely hated it, by the way. And another time I actually booked for him to go on a spa weekend, which he also absolutely hated, because for him, all he needed was to be on the sofa and having a hug. So, it's important to understand about yourself and about your partner, because over time, these strategies need to be fulfilled. So beware, what is your strategy? Ask yourself what it is, and then find out from your partner what's important to them. Ask themselves these questions. As I said, we often assume our partner wants and has the same strategy as we do, but that's not necessarily the case. And ask yourself, ask your partner what they need to, and discuss quite openly, how can you fulfill each other's strategies more effectively, because this is a recipe for a long-term positive relationship. But if your relationship is in difficulty, it's not too late. If you think it's worth saving, then absolutely work out what your deep love strategy is and that of your partner, and really go for it. And the last one is the most important one of all. I call it misaligned values. Our values are what's most important to us, and how we spend our time. What's important to us will determine how we spend our time, and what absolutely motivates us. And we will have values about being in a relationship. And I'd like you to ask yourself, what's important to you about your relationship? Now, this is not the one you're in, but it is your ideal relationship. And write down your values. And these are words like love, sharing, communication, passion, security, inspiration, independence. Be absolutely honest with yourself. Write them in your journal, and keep going, because actually a lot of our values, the most important ones, can be quite unconscious. So by continuing to challenge yourself, you'll notice that sometimes little words will pop into your head, and write those down as well. So often what happens is the conscious values come out first. Sometimes you think, I can't think of any more. Give yourself a bit of time, and then keep asking yourself the question and listen to what pops into your mind. Write those down as well, and put them into a hierarchy, number 1 to number 8. And then score your current relationship out of 10 against each value. So if you score a 0 to 4, that's pretty high risk for the relationship. 5 to 7 is medium risk. 8 to 10 is very low risk. So for example, if you have your top 3 values, and actually your current relationship comes out at a score of 0 to 4, then I would absolutely predict that relationship is in trouble, and you really need to think about how you can work with your partner to align your values. So be courageous, take your partner through this process too, and work together on the areas that you can change. If you were to say to your partner, look, this is really, really important to me. Passion is really important. How can we create more passion in our life? And see where you get to on that. Find out what your partner's values are. You might get some surprises there as well. And if you're not in a relationship, then absolutely use your list of values to help you find someone who's much better suited to you in future. Because what we tend to do is we tend to just run patterns of behavior. And that's why often, we end up with a similar guy, or girl, even if we've had an unsuccessful relationship the last time around. So this is really around what can you do to start changing your patterning to find someone who's really well suited to you. So these 3 things, really, really important. We spoke about negative anchors. What are yours? We talked about unfulfilled strategies. What's your deep love strategy? What's the deep love strategy for your partner? And now we've talked about values. So there's a bit of work here for you to do. And, if you'd like some help with any of these things, then please get in touch with me. I do a lot of work with couples. Lindsay, Lindsey, at agewithattitude.co.uk. And I'd be very happy to share, some thoughts about how I might be able to help you a bit more in this area. But there's lots here that you can do for yourself and with your partner, first of all. And if you'd like to learn more generally, if you've really enjoyed all of the videos that you've been watching so far, and you'd like to do some work face-to-face with me, I run very regular mind and body retreats. I invite special guests along. And if you'd like to find out more about the next one, then please email me Again, Lindsay, Lindsey, at agewithattitude.co.uk, or you can visit the website, agewithattitude.co.uk. Have a look at the Mind Body Retreat and all the information that's on the website about the next retreat. And if you'd like any more information or would like to have a chat with me about that, then again, email me and we can set up a time when we can speak. So it's been great sharing this time with you again. Tomorrow you're going to get the live video, training video number 6, which is all about how to stop feeling invisible. Again, you know, an issue that comes up a lot with the women that I work with. So if you're someone that's beginning to feel a little bit invisible, then this video will show you so many things that that you can do to really, you know, get out there and continue to be noticed, whatever age you might be. So this is Lindsay Agnes saying goodbye, and I look forward to spending some time with you again tomorrow. So have a great day. Bye-bye.